Hey, yeah, we're on. Finally. Hey, crypto heads, it's the Goose with the Cryptic Paranormal Show. That guy over there is here with us, co-host, Mr. Heisenberg. What's up, man? How are you doing tonight?
I'm hanging in there.
Good. How's the week been for you so far? Well, it's almost over, I guess, huh?
Long.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're a man of many words.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it just seems like it was dragging on.
Yeah.
Dragging on.
Everything this week seemed to be like hurry up and wait. Just
Yep.
hurry up and wait. It's like everybody wants everything, but the people that need to give you the information just weren't doing it for me. So it's been a frustrating week. I'm glad it's almost over.
Yes.
I know you're working in the office. I was supposed to go back to work this week. What's up, Zarina?
Is there
Love you, sister. Zarina. Supposed to go back to work this week, but I talked them into the end of May because my kids are still doing schoolwork. I still got to be home making sure they're finishing out the school year. So, and they're not done till June 1st. So,
yikes.
I'm squeezing out a few more weeks of working at home, then back to the office, I guess. But
yeah, it's going to be weird for you to go back to the office full time.
Like, part of me is like looking forward to it. Part of me is not. I mean, I got the kids that I help out where I can, but they're for the most part they're pretty self-sufficient. I could trust them to get what they need done, but every once in a while you gotta look out for what they're doing. But the hustle and bustle and all the protocol at work, like being at the shop right now, not something I'm interested in being around right now. It's
right.
It's a little overwhelming. So I don't know. I guess I'll find out at the end of the month, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be overwhelming for me to have people back in the office.
You got a lot of people at your office working from home still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only one other person that's in there with me every day. And that's the front desk lady, Carolinda.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So it's
gotcha.
Just, we're the only ones there that are there every day.
Gotcha. Zarina said she's been working from home in her PJs all day. That's the way to do it. I can't remember the last time I'm actually dressed right now. I did actually run out to get dinner tonight.
Well, there you go. That's good to be dressed for that.
Yeah. We ran out to Chipotle. Uncle Guido, Tony Santori, what's up, buddy? So as you guys could tell, we do not have a special guest tonight. Emperor Palpatine is not going to be with us. On the promotion teaser, I used him pointing to tell people that they're their special guests. You guys watching and following us tonight are the special guests. We're taking your questions and comments, and in the meantime, Heisenberg said he was going to have some topics.
Oh shit!
I knew it, man.
Sorry, I got topics.
Yeah, you got topics.
Let's you know what? Actually, let's answer some of those questions that I see on Facebook all the time. Like, if you heard a kid crying from a location, would you run in? That is notably abandoned and haunt. You know.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw that one floating around. Yeah, I think I would. I mean, obviously, as a father, I'm always, I guess, and you now too. I mean, you're a dad. I think we have a higher sensitivity to children in distress. I would certainly.
I'd be like, that sucks for you, dude. Right. No, I'd probably run into.
I mean, yeah, I would definitely go in there and check it out and see what's going on and see if we can help. Serena said, "Nope, it's a Wendigo." Oh yeah, well, that she brings up a good point though. I mean,
I don't even know what a Wendigo is. You know?
Good Lord. Watch like season 1 of Supernatural. It's on there. No, it's like a forest dwelling demon. It goes back into like Native American myth and lore.
The Pudgewudgie?
It's like No, not quite the same thing. Same mindset, but
Okay.
this is like a
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Zarina said, "Watch Supernatural." Yeah, they'd actually have an episode about it on there. But yeah, it's like a large looming like beast. Supposedly has the head of a deer and antlers, but it's yeah. It's like have you
I've
ever
seen
watched
I've
Stranger
seen
Things?
that.
Oh, have you?
No,
Okay.
no, I haven't watched, but I've seen that like picture
Oh
with
yeah,
the
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it actually is Native American based. It's a like a demon mythological creature that is a belief of many tribes. But it dwells in the woods. If you stray out alone, and so goes the story. um,
Zarina, Zarina said it will eat you. Of course, I'm delicious.
Everybody's got to get a piece of Heisenberg.
That's right.
But I mean, based on that, I mean, some people have the theory that a lot of times, like a small child, especially like a small female child, may be a demon masking their voice to lure you into a location.
Okay.
So, I mean, I guess maybe some people would be cautious about that. Um, I don't know, but I mean,
All
I
right.
think if I heard a child's voice, my first instinct would be to go towards it
Right.
and try to figure out what it was and or who it was and if they needed help and if there's obviously anything we could do to help it.
So you walk into that place, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you see this Wendigo. What do you do?
Are you talking about a Wendigo? We're talking about a Wendigo now.
Yeah, I was like, if you walk into it and you see one,
I don't know
do you
what
run?
the I don't know what the whole story behind the Wendigo is, besides that it's like protector of the forest. Um,
Okay.
some people call it a demon, some people call it a guardian. Um,
It's all about the contact, right?
right. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you run into it, unless you're fast and smarter, you're probably not going to get away.
Well, that takes me out.
Right.
I might be fast, but I'm not smart enough to outsmart something like that.
Yeah. So everybody who's watching, hopefully some people are watching on YouTube, everybody watching on Facebook, do us a big favor, share us out to all your pages and all your groups. I want to get the numbers up in here tonight. We want to get questions, comments, subjects. We like to do this every once in a while, just sit back and have a chat. I mean, it's kind of nice. Interviewing can be hard sometimes. Like when we have folks like Sean and Zarina, we've had some
That's
really
easy.
great. Yeah, I mean, we get along. We all just kind of meld, and everything flows naturally. The conversation. We've had some awesome guests the last few weeks. Justin Brown, Adam Wichlick, really cool guests. But sometimes life gets away, and we didn't get anybody scheduled, so my bad. But we like to sit back and talk to you folks. So
Yep.
bring us some questions, if like anything you think of. We'll try to stump Heisenberg tonight.
Yeah, try to stump me.
Let's
Because
stump
you
the
know I'm just gonna
Heisenberg.
make up shit.
Right. That's what's so much fun, man. I'd love to hear what comes out of your mouth next. Hey, Brian from Bearded Paranormal. We had him on the show.
Yep.
Back around, it was in summer, wasn't it, last year?
Yeah. It seems like it was a while
Yeah.
ago.
Well, we definitely got to have you back on, brother. That was a good show.
He made fun of my beard. He didn't say I really had one.
My goatee's getting longer and the side parts are coming in. I got to trim this down a little bit, though. It's getting a little wonky where my sideburns are coming into the beard, which is a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
It's a little bit nuts, but Zarina shared everywhere. Thank you, Madam Zarina.
Zarina.
Ron Abels.
Hey, Ron.
But yeah, we're just kind of chilling out tonight, having a chit chat. We'll have a sing along. I don't know. You're out on the sing along.
Kate's gonna have to take my place for that.
All right. So yeah, I mean, I guess there's a kind of two sides of the coin of whether if you hear a child's voice, if you should go running in, or if you should be a little bit cautious and kind of back off a little bit. But
yeah. Have you? I'll ask you a question.
Yeah.
Have you actually ever seen a ghost?
I got to take a drink of coffee for that one.
Right.
I have never seen a full-on 100% full body, like that's a person apparition.
Like you could tell that it was a person. And
yeah. I've done the, like, in the corner of the eye, seeing shadows moving by. I've seen, well, probably the most concrete thing I've ever seen was at Mansfield.
Yes.
The Ohio State Penitentiary. Very first time ghost hunting. I was with a group of people from work. We did the big public ghost hunt. Oddly enough, for as many, Mansfield is so huge. Even with as many people as they let in for the public ghost hunts, you could still have areas to yourself and with no running into each other. Recording audio is maybe tough because it's still very echoey. So even if you have a section to yourself, people above you could hear, people in the next room over you can hear. But like everybody's very respectful of each other's space. It was really cool. Anyways, we're walking back to, I don't know if it's still set up the same. I haven't been to Mansfield in God knows how long.
We got to get there because I've never been there for actually.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great for the group to do. And now with Tri-C running it, we're friends with them. Hopefully, maybe we can talk to them and get some info and getting out there. But
yeah, we have a big enough group now.
Yeah. So there used to be this area they used to call the toilet room. Because you walked in there and it was just toilets, like porcelain toilets stacked up. I don't know why. I mean, just storage for toilets, I guess, if they need. I don't know. I don't know why they're there. It's called the toilet room. There are toilets.
We can never run out of toilets, man.
Right. Especially at a prison. You never know what they're doing in those things.
Well, they're making wine, man.
Yeah. Sell hooch. Making hooch. But past that room, if you walk through it, there's like the commissary. Well, it was just, it was open for investigation, but there's just a lot of crap like sitting around. But you could see like there's a big window towards the other side, and it was, the light from outside was shining in, so it was lit up well enough. As I'm walking in, I'm ahead of everybody, and before I actually saw something, I felt that stomach, like my stomach just dropped down to my feet, like whoa, like the energy shifted so crazy. And right in front of me, just a full-figured, dark, couldn't see through it, not transparent at all, just straight black, very well-defined shadow of a man, tall. It looked like he had the flat top, like the old-style prison hat.
I saw you have the picture of it, don't you?
That's a completely that's a completely different. Yeah, that's a different room.
Wow.
I didn't even see that when I took a picture of it.
Yeah, that picture is great.
Yeah, when I walked in there, I just saw this guy. He just walks out of nowhere, across the room, and disappears into the wall across the room. And I walked forward and I looked around. I didn't see anybody. It wasn't anybody. Because like I said, there was enough light in the room. I would have, if somebody was over there hiding in that corner and then moving, if it was like a living person, I would have seen the colors and the designs on their clothes. I mean, it was that lit up. It was bright outside because there was, parking lights and moonlights in there's actually the functioning women's prison behind it. So there's all kinds of lights shining in from that way. But like I said, it was, the figure itself was so dark. It was like somebody standing there, but like no discernible designs on clothes but tall, definitely masculine, walked right in front of me. Now, I mean, what would you consider that a ghost? Or, I mean, like seeing a full-bodied apparition when you don't see like any details on like their clothing or like what their face looks like? I mean, what would you consider that? I mean, to me, it was just a shadow man. Or
I would consider that like a shadow man. Like if I want to see a ghost, I want to see like what Kate put down there in the comments.
Yeah, let me pop that up there because I got to read that. I want to see that. Saw a man in an army uniform standing next to my bed as a teenager. Whoa. Then when I sat up, I saw an older lady standing at the end of my bed. Weirdest thing to see. I can remember it so vividly. That's crazy, Kate.
Yeah.
So, Kate, when you saw that, I mean, she's behind you, or she in another room? Okay.
No, she's got me.
So when you saw this, you could see like their clothing, like you could see details, like they were there as real people.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I've never seen.
I can remember like the army uniform. I was actually just trying to look it up.
Yeah.
I think it was maybe like a World War II. It's like the sand brown color uniform. It's all like that light brown. Totally can see that. And then the lady, I can remember her face, and my mom even helped me go through pictures of some of our older relatives to see if I could pick her out. Oh shit! There you
go.
So
keep talking then.
Yeah, but, I can remember exactly what she looked like, and it actually she looked most like a relative that at the time was actually still alive. So that was kind of weird.
That is weird.
It looked like her when she was in her younger, like 50s, and at the time she was like 80. So it was definitely really strange. I remember throwing the covers over my head and telling me what I can't see can't hurt me, what I can't see, and
wow.
went away. But it was. I mean, I can remember exactly where my bed was in my room at my parents' house. Like I remember everything. It's the only time I've ever seen anything so real looking in my life.
Well, she's one up on us then.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, hold on. What was that? Why am I echoing? Oh, okay. I've never seen anything that detailed before.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean, so I don't know what you would consider what I've seen. Now, when this whole thing for me started, I always tell the story about waking up and seeing the two shadows of what I felt were the spirit impressions of the two older kids that lived there that passed away in a car accident, the house that I lived in. But even then, that wasn't even really defined. I mean, I could see just two dark shadows like over me, like standing on this, but kind of leaning over me at the same time. But like I said, I kind of could tell one of them was female. It seemed like she had longer hair, like just the outline of the head, but the rest of it was just like kind of a misty, dark black reflection. I don't even know how to explain it.
Right.
But, yeah, I think all I've seen is something like that when I was at Madison.
Yeah. Now Madison, I saw half a body, like not a full body apparition. I can't remember when it was. It might have been after one of the historical tours that we gave. I can't remember. Oh no, it was actually after the last public ghost hunt event that we hosted there.
Okay.
The Santorias were there, and we were up on I can't remember if it was the second floor or the third floor, but we were just talking, and I happened to look out of the corner of my eye, and I turned around real quick, and it looked like a younger girl like walking away from me with like longer, like all I could see was like hair and like a white gown, but not even like full, like I didn't see feet or anything, but it just like was a flash in the pan. It's just like I looked and she was like gone, and I saw the same kind of figure on the Civil War side. Not sure if it was like the same spirit maybe following us around, but I don't know that. And I just, but a lot of shadow play stuff, shadows blocking light out, like there's something there looking at us and peeking back in. But
that's like when I was at Madison, I was in the president or the superintendent's office.
Yeah.
And like there was two people, standing in front of me, but when there was really actually three people standing in front of me, and when they showed the flashlight, there was only two.
Oh wow!
Like this was my height. Yeah. And it was looking straight at me, but all I could see was black, and it was defined. I could see the blackness defined.
Yeah.
Like I could tell it was a person.
Weird. Yeah. But to say I've seen like something like Kate has seen a full-bodied apparition, I don't think I've seen anything quite that close to that. But definitely have seen some stuff. But we got Cheryl saying she saw and spoke to a friend, grandpa, on sleepovers as a kid for 2 years. Interesting.
I can tell you.
I would love to see one.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the day.
Anna Dean farm.
Oh yeah, that's right. She saw one on Anna Dean.
Yeah, in one of the buildings.
It was by the squabbery, that barn.
Oh really?
Yeah, the barns. Yeah, there was a lady that was like walking outside, and I could see like the white flow of the dress, and I was not the only one who saw it. Somebody else saw it too. That was pretty crazy. But I haven't seen anything that defined since I was a teenager.
Was it Alex?
No, it was.
Just a guess that was there.
I think it was the Suzanne Freeman.
Oh, Suzanne Freeman.
Yeah.
Okay. You said it was over by the squabbery.
You know that barn that had like the 2 floors?
Yeah.
Not the colt barn, but the other one out there by that house.
The feed barn.
Lady was?
Yeah, by the house.
Where the lady lived? Yeah.
Yeah, the feed barn. I think hers was like
that one. Yeah.
The house that she lived in was like the office for that department or something like that.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. That's interesting. People we've talked to from the area have seen around that area the same thing. So that, I mean, pretty validated.
Yeah.
And she said somebody else saw it too. Yeah. That's really cool. People have caught pictures of it too. So
yes.
A lot of people think it might be Anna herself. People have seen. I remember when you and I were doing some historical research in the library, at Barberton Library. There was, I think we talked to I talked to a guy that was down there, asked us what we were doing because I mean we were wearing our Dark Alley T-shirts and you know, two young guys digging up history on Barberton. He was probably curious. He asked us what we were doing. He's like, yeah. I come out, you know, around Lake Anna, you know, early in the morning and just kind of relax and walk around and stuff. And I've seen her walking around several times.
I remember that. I remember talking him saying that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So, you know, yeah. And what was her name? Oh, the lady that she was the physically handicapped lady that was supposed to haunt that farm.
I can't remember her name.
It was something Brown. Was it Ruth Brown? It was something Brown. Remember. I know her last name.
That's a shame that we forgot. Yeah. Was it Millie?
Yeah. Nellie?
No. Yes, that's it. Nellie Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Nellie.
Yep. Nellie Brown. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was a sad story about her.
Yeah.
If anybody's listening and wants to know a little bit about Barberton, there's a Barberton Historical Society owned property called Anna Dean Farm, which actually the expanse of the farm is basically where Barberton sits today. I mean, it was the size of Barberton. There were like 32 original buildings to the whole complex. I think I want to say I think 6 or 7 of them are still standing. The Piggery is like the main one where they still have events and stuff. We had access to the colt barn, which was pretty active for us. The feed barn and the heating house. That was one of the more that was one of the more active areas that we've been in, and I tell you, that was sad not being able to get in there like we wanted to. It's sad in general that we lost access to the place, but you know, I mean, they probably make more money having events there and whatever, and I mean, hopefully everything's operating well without Steve. We lost Steve. He passed away a couple of years ago, and that's kind of when the whole paranormal angle for what we were doing for the place went downhill, and we weren't able to get back in. But
and I bet you he walks those grounds.
I bet you he does too. I bet you he's there hanging out with Anna and Ohio Barber, Mr. Barber himself, you know, giving tours.
Yep. That was a shame that they cut that out, and I'm sure it's because they wanted to do the weddings. Although, what would be cooler than to have a ghost hunt with your reception?
Right. Well, I mean, that was a thing too. It was getting hard for us to schedule the public events because if there was something like most people can't do it during the week,
right?
You know, who can just take off a day to go ghost hunting the night before?
Yeah.
So we'd have to basically do them on Friday and Saturday nights, which was when the events were, and we couldn't go in until after the events were over. So we're talking like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, And
yeah, they ran the haunted house out of there.
right. Oh yeah, that too. We had to work around the schedule. It was tough. We would have kept doing it.
Yeah,
I mean, we would have done what we could, but they wanted us out. So
yeah, I've driven around to see, and I've seen a lot of those barns. Like they are using them for different things. Like I think one's offices or
Mhm.
like a something. Because I actually had to go pick up somebody that was near there, and I was like, oh, that's one of the barns.
Yeah. Let's see. I got Steve. What's up, buddy? Steve's a good friend of the show. Wants to know, hey, hi guys. As far as you know, have you ever heard the voice of a Native American while doing EVPs, possibly in a native language? Not as of yet. No. We haven't really.
We haven't really been in the areas where there's we've been around, some of the buildings, but we haven't really been outside that much.
Mm-hmm.
And
no, I mean obviously in Ohio, I mean I've been to Mount. Were you weren't at Moundsville yet? Have you been?
Yeah,
you were Moundsville. I mean, obviously the mound. There's a burial mound, a monument mound right across the street. The whole town is named after burial mounds, but not as of yet. I don't believe we have. I mean, if we're catching EVPs, it's pretty much directly in response or something that's right in the room with us. But we really haven't we haven't investigated too much, have we? Like just straight like Native American areas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've been close. We live in Ohio, so it's everywhere, but not really, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was just reading about Portage Lakes, and they would use probably the Tuscarawas River as a highway.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see. Anthony Richard. Penhurst was a game changer. That was probably, for me, that was probably the first true empathic experience I've ever had. To where I realized what I was feeling was not my own emotion. Can't remember what building we were in. I think we were in the Devon building, down in the basement. It was nasty down there. Obviously, it's besides the Mayflower building and the administrative building, most of the buildings are kind of iffy. There's a lot of standing water and just it's probably not a great place to be. But I was just standing there, dude, and I was down there with Sarah, Aaron's wife, and I can't remember who else I was with, but I just got overwhelmed with the most horrible feeling of sadness and despair. And I could not shake it. So I mean, we ended up having to walk out. I couldn't do it anymore. But even this lasted. I had this dark cloud hanging over me for almost 2 weeks. Just bad juju from that place. I would definitely go back.
Yeah, me too. I know Katie went out. We had to go out to the playground area, in that middle courtyard. I think by the Mayflower. I'm not really sure. I can't remember. Yeah. She threw up out there.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wait, not your Kate, the other Kate?
No, Katie Bethany's.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember. I think I heard something about that. That wasn't the time that I went though. I think that was the time. I don't remember. We didn't go together, did we? Yeah, that's right.
You were suspended, Ray.
That's all I got to say about that. Suspended. Yeah. We'll talk about team cancer later. I don't even want to bring it up. But
actually, I got you unsuspended.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
But you couldn't go.
Yeah, I couldn't go anyways. No, I think it was Trans Allegheny he was trying to keep me away from.
Oh, maybe.
I don't. Either way, he suspended me of all people.
Yes.
Yeah. Whatever.
Which is funny. He didn't even go to Penhurst with us.
Right. No. He couldn't afford it. And he actually, funny story, he was trying to get me to pay for him. But I was like, nope, sorry, man. We got Jacqueline Sorensen with a question. We touched base on this a little bit at the beginning of the show. We'll go ahead and answer it again. She wanted to know, have you guys ever seen a full body ghost apparition? Jackie, I was explaining earlier, I've seen a lot of shadowy type stuff. I've seen things out of the corner of my eye where I could like kind of figure out who or like if like what sex this spirit was. I've seen like straight off black, like not detailed, but just straight dark black shadow, but perfect silhouette of a man at Ohio State Reformatory in Mansfield. I have not seen like if I was like looking at Mike in the same room, but seeing a ghost. I haven't seen anything like that yet.
No, the only one that really has is my wife.
Yeah. She was telling this cool story. She woke up and saw a gentleman in a World War II uniform and an older lady at the foot of her bed. Yeah, that's crazy to me. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy awesome, not like Kate's crazy. Although she married Heisenberg, so she's got to be a little bit nuts.
Yeah, she married me, so she's got to have a little bit of
right.
I see a Lake Erie one, yeah. I actually grew up in Port Clinton, which is you could take a boat. Actually, I think my brother tried to take a rowboat to Kelly's Island. They didn't make it, but yeah, there are a lot of places there. I know Clinton Bay. I know actually Johnson's Island. Kate and I went there last year.
Yeah.
They had the Confederate. They had a Confederate prison there, and they have the graveyard. And it's pretty cool. They have a lot of placards that describe everything that kind of went down. You know, so
yeah.
And you know what's funny is I grew up there, and I've never been to Kelly's Island.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
It's Kelly's Island a long time ago.
But, you know, it was just like, it was a thing there that we didn't really care about, you know, because it was right there.
True. Yeah. I mean, I mean, I guess if you grow up around it, you know, the interest is elsewhere. You hear all the ghosts. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of places around my neck, like where we go, the Historical Society Museum in Shalersville. I've always heard stories about that. But when I was growing up, you should have seen the condition of the place. It was run down, falling apart.
Oh, really?
Paint was peeling off the sides. It was horrible condition. And I was actually, people didn't want to go in. It was like the horror house. Like, we're little kids. I mean, you saw the elementary school. That's where I grew up. We would stand there and like try to like bait each other into like running over and touching it. But, you know, I could see where like, I would love to go up there though. There's supposed to be, I know, like you said, the fort or whatever.
Oh yeah, Fort Meigs in Toledo.
Yeah. I've heard all over that area up by the lake, even up in the Cleveland area. I've heard stories. I mean, Madison Seminary is right by the lake.
Yeah, there's so much stuff like with that Fort Meigs. Like we went there for a field trip, high school field, or not high school. It was actually elementary school, and I'll remember it. Because afterwards we went to this park that had all these canal locks.
Yeah.
And like, it was just cool to see them they were all dried up obviously, but you could see where it used to run through. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, Johnson's Island, supposedly there's a statue that turns its head on Halloween.
Uh-huh.
I think my mom and dad been out there and they didn't see it. I don't know how a statue would really turn their head because they're pretty huge. Like, you never know, I
guess. That's funny. Yeah, but so yeah. I mean, besides Madison Seminary, I don't think I've really been up. I've really investigated anything by the lake. But I've thought about it. If I was more physically fit, I'd see if we can get maybe into one of the lighthouses or something like that.
Oh, I mean, that'd be awesome.
There's always, you know, stories surrounding lighthouses, and I know I've heard some from up in that area. I was watching some special on.
Is somebody in your room?
What's that?
Is somebody down there with you?
No, why?
Did you hear that sneeze?
No. No.
Yeah, Kate was even
that was so weird.
Kate was even like, "What was that?"
No, I didn't hear anything. I'm like jumping back and forth between the stream and Facebook trying to.
Actually, 35.
trying to share us out.
Yeah, I just thought she's gonna go back and listen to it.
Okay. Yeah. No. I mean,
couldn't tell if it was.
I can hear people walking around upstairs. Maybe it was the floor creaking.
It
It sounded like
it was like right in the room.
I couldn't tell if it was coming through the thing or if it was actually
I was
right
too busy
in
talking.
here.
I was too busy talking.
I don't know how you wouldn't have heard it. Steve heard it.
Did he?
Yeah,
Eddie
Look
heard
at
it?
all of them. It sounded like a sneeze, didn't it, guys?
What?
Yeah.
That's so cool. That was
Crazy.
Sorry, but that's cool.
But
Is
yeah,
that the
I couldn't tell if it was coming from the audio or if it was here. But it sounded really loud. That's why I was surprised you didn't hear it.
No, I didn't hear anything.
Did it sound like a sneeze to you guys?
Sure, you don't have any kids down there with you, Ray?
No, they're all upstairs. All I can hear is them walking around.
Yeah, that was like it was right here.
Crazy. No, I didn't. Anthony Richard heard it.
Kate's gonna go back and see if she hears it.
Okay. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if you can.
But no, I mean, if it was in the room, I don't know. That's crazy. I didn't hear anything.
It might. Yeah, it was like I was like, what was? I almost said Gesundheit.
It usually is me sneezing with my allergies.
No, that was. I couldn't tell if it was like a kind of a.
It almost sounded like female.
Female.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
Kate's trying to get to it, but I don't think she can
I
while
don't
it's
think I
live.
can while it's live. I have to wait till after it's over.
All right. I'm trying
yeah,
to.
it was. Yeah, it was loud. Jacqueline says sneeze or cough.
Yeah.
A lot of people heard it, and it's. I don't think it's anything with the audio, because it was a sneeze.
Your dad heard it too.
Yeah.
Oh, someone said you can rewind the YouTube stream, but not the Facebook. Thank you, Justin. I will do that.
Yep, she's gonna check it out. Did you hear it, Justin?
I didn't hear it, man. I'm pissed.
That's all right. If Kate finds it, we'll play it again.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah, it was like 35 minutes in.
Fine, let's keep going.
Yeah, we always get something. Remember, we had another EVP that went through when Alex Bob was on.
Yeah, we did. That was more. I mean, that was more explainable though, because we were in the studio.
Yeah,
and I'm almost like 80% that place is haunted.
Yeah,
just because of the things that have happened in there.
Yeah, but like both times, like you're doing a lot more than I'm doing. Like you're sharing, you're doing like I shared at the beginning, but I don't have that many friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're doing a lot of stuff. So yeah, Justin said I heard something. So we'll see. We'll see if Kate can find it. We'll debunk it or
there you
see.
Go. I'm gonna go in here.
She's gonna go in there and listen to see if she can find it.
All right. Look at this, everybody! Dark Alley Paranormal in action. Love it.
Yep. Hey, you know I'm one with the dead ladies, man. Maybe they're.
Yeah. Eddie Pence said, "Can't beat ghost hunting on your own show."
Yeah.
We might end up having to do that or something for a week. I mean, I don't know. Sometime we need to get out there, one of us or both of us. I got to get out.
Yeah. Welcome to the Haunted Cryptic Show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's been like two. We've verified that there's people here.
Yeah, on your end, yeah.
Like a lot of people have said they've seen.
But you said you heard it coming from my.
I couldn't actually. It was loud enough that I couldn't tell where it was coming from.
Really?
Yeah. If Kate finds it, watch everybody. If it's not there, that's going to be crazy. But it should be. Everybody heard it, or a lot of people heard it.
Yeah. All right.
There was a question about Bobby Mackey. I think that's in Kentucky, not Tennessee.
No, yeah, it's in Kentucky. It's almost like right on the Ohio-Kentucky border.
Yeah.
Like Louisville area.
Yeah, I've been there, but it was with a big group, and it was very hard to not get contaminated stuff. Like, there was nothing we could even say that was not somebody upstairs or
right.
The only thing that happened is that the water main broke, and we heard all this gushing water.
Yeah, how bad that scare you?
Well, it was so funny is like we sat there for a while
Uh
trying to figure out what that noise was. We were like, oh, it might be they had some kind of either compressor or something
huh.
in one of the rooms. So we're like, that must be the compressor. It was me and
Yeah.
Mike Bigley that finally said, let's go check this out. And there's just water just pouring in.
Oh, gee. Wow, that's crazy.
But yeah, that place looks like it's going to slide off the property. Like it's weird.
I haven't been there yet, and I don't think I want to. I mean, I would love to go there to make my own conclusions, but it doesn't sound like it's the safest place.
Well, it's not going to fall out, I don't think. But it would definitely have to be a small group, I think.
Yeah, it's a tiny place.
Yeah, it was so like content. Like you just couldn't count on an EVP.
Yeah.
The only thing that we kind of heard is Kate and I went up to the second floor thing, and it sounded like there was footsteps coming towards us. Like it was definitely in that room.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that was the only thing we really got.
Steve White wants to know, what location did you guys catch your best paranormal evidence at?
Probably Madison, but Shalersville's up there too.
I mean, as far as documentary, like being able, I don't know if you heard that. That was definitely upstairs.
Yeah.
Documentable. I don't know how to, like, evidence that you could document and say this is paranormal, or definitely, or the possibility of it being paranormal.
More than likely.
Yeah, I think some of the best EVPs we've been able to record have been at Shalersville. The best picture I've ever taken was at Mansfield. The guy's face in the jail cell. Very, very prominent. What's that?
Yeah, I was looking at but like the things that I heard is usually on those flashlight tours. Like I did start recording some of them if it's a small group, but
you can't hear it on the YouTube video.
That's what Justin just said.
Yeah.
Weird.
Can't hear it at all.
But that was loud.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
That's weird.
I'm too busy listening to my own voice.
Yeah, he said I've listened to the section Mike heard the sneeze several times on YouTube and heard nothing. So it may have been at their place.
At our place?
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, it was just I couldn't tell.
If there's anybody here, can you please sneeze again?
I couldn't tell where it was coming from, but it definitely sounded like a sneeze.
I'm looking at my own phone too. Sorry. I'm like, I'm
sorry. But yeah, I think I saw some. Where else did we catch some good paranormal evidence?
We got some great EVPs out of. Well, we didn't. One of the people that was with us captured EVPs from Prospect Place.
Yeah. Well, I did catch a Get Out, and I was there for the one that we have on our website.
That's the one that got erased.
Yeah, it's the one that got erased.
Yeah.
I liked it when you would call you spin Mikey erase a lot.
That's how I show up on his phone.
See, Anthony said he lives out in Philadelphia. Eastern State Penitentiary is by far number 2 on activity. Penhurst number 1. I've never been to Eastern State. I heard number 1. It's pretty expensive to try to do a ghost hunt there, and yeah, we haven't been out there yet. I would like to take a tour next time we're out that way.
I think Julie did when we went to Penhurst. Because she was there.
The self-guided tour? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacqueline said it sounded like it was from my side. Weird.
I don't know, man. It was just weird.
Everybody come watch the Cryptic Paranormal show where you have live paranormal experiences.
Ghosts that are allergic to our show.
Yeah. My basement is a little dusty.
And I'm in the garage, so.
Yeah. Eddie said
I'm definitely going to have to go through and listen after we're done.
Mm.
And if I find it, I'll kind of look through or listen to and see what we got.
Cool. Yeah. I'll definitely check it out when I download the video and put it on YouTube later.
Yeah. It was around the 35-minute part.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. That's weird.
I don't think I've been to the Gill House. I don't think so.
We wanted to go, didn't we?
Yeah.
I thought you went down there. No,
I might have gone with this Columbus group, but I can't remember.
I went down there with Marcus Hogg and his group. We filmed an episode of his paranormal films down there.
Yeah.
Don't remember. I mean, we got some things that he labeled as EVP that I still, God bless you, Mark. I love you, Marcus. I love you, but I couldn't hear it. What he was saying it said. But I definitely had a crazy time. I did a seclusion session for half an hour in the attic, and I just felt like people were watching me the whole time, and were screwing with me up there.
Yeah.
I was sitting up there in the dark trying to get some EVP, some interaction, and I would see a shadow and like movement in a corner. And so I'd start focusing my energy, and then it would be behind me again. I'm like, what the hell? It's that misdirection power play that sometimes joking spirits like to do with you or play on you.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. And actually, while we were up there and right before I ended the session, Marcus was downstairs monitoring everything live in Command Central with Jennifer and Angie while I was up there. And I could have swore, like plain as day, somebody was walking up the steps to open the door and let me out and like tell me that I was done.
Wow.
And nobody was there. I'm like, Marcus, are you coming up the steps? I hear somebody moving out there. Somebody's definitely coming up the steps. He's like, no, dude, I'm still sitting down here. And at that point, that's when he came up.
Wow.
But,
Jacqueline,
we have a couple of lighthouses here in Connecticut. Oh, I'd love just to visit Connecticut. We were there when I was little, and I love that area. It's beautiful.
We have a lighthouse in Marblehead that was one of my favorites. You'll see it everywhere. One of my favorite places.
Is that the one that? Is that the one that you used when you were tooling around with changing the logo for T-shirts?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a cool looking lighthouse.
Yeah, and then I was like, you know what? I like our logo.
Yeah. Be cool. I mean, if it was like logo. If it was, nice. I mean,
it's simple.
Yeah, it is. It's just dark alley, nothing special. But we're special. We're a good group.
I'd say just us people.
There it is. Dark alley paranormal. Will being at haunted location, have you guys ever heard a disembodied voice?
Yes.
That I have definitely. Yes, for sure. Several places we've been to. And that's just like, it's frustrating because a lot of times we don't catch it on audio. It's just something that we hear. Now, we did catch a disembodied voice at Shalersville Historical Society Museum that only, out of the group, only Kate and I heard.
Yeah.
Nobody else heard it. And then we were actually able to catch it on recording when we played it back. It was a female voice responding to us.
Yeah.
What sounded like she was asking where we were.
Right.
Like we're talking to her and she's like, where are you?
It actually talked over you guys.
Yeah.
So, like you could, and I think Kate was was Julie there or were you the only lady there?
My memory is always bad.
I think Kate was the only lady there. And so you could, like, it talked over both of you because actually it kind of, I think it did it twice. You guys heard it.
Yeah.
And then on the recording, we heard it talking over you.
Yeah.
As well. But,
yeah, you're right. And honestly, I think, Kate had to be the only one there because I think, if I remember correctly, that specific night, it was just you, me, and Trent.
And Kate, yeah.
Oh, and me, yeah.
Yeah, because Julie was kind of out at that point.
Yeah, because her daughter it was her senior year, and she just wanted to make sure she was available.
Yeah, she wasn't kicked out of the group, but yeah, she took a sabbatical.
Let's see. Justin said he heard a disembodied voice in the basement in Madison. That still blows his mind. Yes, I've heard humming in the service, like the laundry area of the basement, on the Ohio Cottage side. I've heard two men talking back and forth with each other across the hall from Sarah's room. I've heard quite a few disembodied voices at Madison Seminary. We heard the disembodied voice at the heating house at Anadine Farm.
Yes.
I
heard that one.
You
I
heard
think
that?
on the recording.
There were a couple of people there that, though, did not hear it, and we did catch it on recording.
Kate said she didn't hear
I was so
it.
mad that I didn't hear that. I'm so mad.
It's frustrating.
It is.
It says,
because I think I did exactly what I did with the sneeze. I was like, "What was that?"
Yeah. But I actually heard that too, because right before it, we were all standing very still in a circle doing an EVP session, and from behind me, I heard like shuffling, like footsteps almost behind me, and it was a dirt floor, like a dirt-ish floor, or just dusty, and we heard scuffling coming from behind us, and that's when we heard the voice. To answer your question, we've definitely have heard disembodied voices.
I've heard screams. I heard a scream at Madison.
Yeah,
I think Addie and I heard it.
Yeah. Let's see. Tony said he's heard all kinds of voices at Madison. Heard a woman asking for what sounded like help at Fairfield. Cool.
I hate that when they ask for help. It kind of hits you a little bit.
Dr. Justin Brown says, I think disembodied voices are more common than EVP. A lot of people misidentify EVPs when they are actual physical voices that can be heard by the ear or so low a sensitive recorder picks it up. And yeah, I probably tend to agree with that.
I think when you hear a disembodied voice, you're almost like, was that a voice? More than you're like, or was somebody? And you almost have to run outside and check to make sure there's nobody messing around. I heard the one when I was actually walking the back when I was doing the guard duty, and you heard it too.
Yes.
You heard another one. But when I was actually walking back on the back of Madison, that was before all the lights were up. It was just dark. And I heard that, hey.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit, now I got to go check this out.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything. Like, the same night, I was out front on the other side, and I heard two gentlemen talking back and forth with each other. They were older, and I kept like having to walk over with my flashlight to make sure there wasn't somebody sneaking around. It was crazy. I know Tony can attest to that. He's heard outside of Madison Seminary just as haunted as inside the building.
Yes,
and it's just nonstop wherever you go there.
I would hear footsteps in the leaves, and I always say that you could tell the difference between footsteps and either acorns falling or whatever was falling, or animal. Like these were like like that.
And Justin, and that's why I used face cams and lav mics. Yep, makes sense.
What's the lav mic?
A lavalier, it's like the collar mic where you just kind of pin on like a pocket or something that's close to you. So you could definitely tell you're talking or whatever. So yeah. To answer your question, certainly have heard disembodied voices that we can't explain. Now places like I think it was Trans-Allegheny, maybe? No, it was I was at Waverly Hills. I thought I heard what was a female screaming. But I'm like, I stopped and I thought to myself, like, listen, that's a scream, but it was definitely coming from outside. And the whole area is sanitarium. It's all open on the outside. Like the rooms, there's no windows. It's all open to outside area. And you're like, when you pull into Waverly Hills, it's like a horror movie where it's like a long, like kind of wooded drive up into the sanitarium area. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it could have been anything. It could have been, what first came to mind when I was like thinking logically, it could have been, I don't know if you heard a coyote howl or scream.
But it sounds,
it's eerie, man. I go camping. When I went camping with my buddies on my buddy's property, just in Hiram, Ohio, because we have coyotes here. You just hear them. It sounds like women screaming all over the woods, like there's some kind of coven out there doing some kind of witchy business. But it's it's coyotes. They sounds horrible. They're scary sounding. See Eddie he saw a younger teenager girl get pulled at Hillview Manor. I knew she was scared out of her mind, and I told her to leave, but she didn't. No. Can't force people.
Yeah.
Jacqueline says she wants to go there right now. I'm assuming she's talking about Madison Seminary. You should go there.
Yes.
Another property Adam Kimmel just purchased. Fairfield. Can't talk right. Fairfield Infirmary, down in Southern Ohio. Another place that
Central.
I know. Yeah. I know Tony and Kathy have been there. Quite a few people have been there to help out. We need to get down there as soon as this, unless we can like work outside or something where we could social distance. We need to get down there and check it out. Yeah, agreed. Justin, I'd like to know what Justin like really feels about Waverly Hills. It's really hard. I did. It's very open and outside, but it's close enough to downtown Louisville and like major thoroughfares and like he said, airports, trains. It's just like I said, it's all open. It's really hard to investigate. I think some of the tour guides, I don't know how to say it politely. I think some of the tour guides were pretty over embellishing on some of the stories. I mean, I hate to be like that cynical kind of asshole kind of guy, but I mean, he was even trying to get us to see stuff that wasn't there like during the tour. The creeper. I'm not saying this stuff. I mean, obviously something has happened where people, these stories get out and people experience, but again, is it a thought form? Is it something that one person a long time ago saw and like the myth just kind of rolled and like a game of telephone, it just like kind of got added on to to where it became something that it wasn't. I don't know. I would love to go back. Yeah. I mean, it's a historical building. It's huge. I would love to go back maybe with a different group like us and try it. I mean, I'm not saying I would never go back there, but my experience is there as of yet. I've been there, I think, twice. Have not been the most productive. I guess that's the nicest way for me to say it.
Well, it's just like at Bobby Mackey, the lady was like, where that hole is, the well or whatever. She's like, I don't know where it came from, but nobody was buried here.
That's the thing. I mean, you have people embellishing stuff and giving false history, or passing off urban legend as history. So, I mean, that's what we talk about a lot. It's really important to do like true historical research on locations before we go to them.
Yeah, I think Justin answered your question about Waverly Hills. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Justin hit the nail on the head with that. I mean, that's basically how I feel. It's just another location that you pay way too much for to investigate. Overhyped. It's been overplayed on so many of the shows. And you never know. It's a great place to experience, like you said. I mean, it was amazing to be there. And obviously the first time I was there was earlier on. I'm like, cool. I'm at a place ghost hunters went to. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, everybody has their own experiences and they take away what they want from it. So
yeah. We got somebody doing a private investigation at Madison Seminary this weekend.
What's that?
If you scroll up, somebody from Pennsylvania, I can't see her name. Oh, Stacy.
Cool. Stacy Schneider-Moronsky.
Yeah.
Hi, Stacy. Well, if that is true, then definitely good luck to you. You're going to love it. It's like our home away from home.
Yeah.
If we're not at Shalersville, we're usually at Madison.
Yep.
So enjoy.
Yeah. You'll love it. And Justin said the rumor about the severed head being thrown in the well is total BS. Yes. I mean, our tour guide said that.
Yeah.
You know, she was like, I don't know. I think it was the shows that kind of went there that started that.
Yeah, the first time I ever saw it was an episode of Ghost Adventures. And we know how that goes. So,
yeah. That's what Jacqueline said. Ghost Adventures went there a couple of times.
Yeah.
When my daughter was about 2, she sat up in the middle of the night and started talking to the door and holding her arms out to be picked up. I think she was talking to my grandfather who had passed a couple of weeks earlier. I think that's pretty. It's a good explanation. It could be.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. Our loved ones, they stick around for us. You know, I think my mom has crossed over, but she comes to me in dreams a lot. And I would say it's in times of I'll be honest with everybody right now. I suffer from depression, and not something I ever talked to my mom about before she passed away, but it was definitely something that was there. And she seems to make visits regularly when I'm sleeping in my dreams. And it's comforting. And I wake up the next day and I feel great. I mean, I feel better. And it's like nothing better than talking to your mom, right? But yeah. I definitely believe that, you know, our family, they can act as angels, and they stick around and watch over us and take care of us. And he was probably happy to see his granddaughter, you know, wanted to hold her.
I remember I had a dream about my grandma. I still remember it.
Yeah.
She was there, but her mouth was gone.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like trying to communicate with me. Yeah, I just remember that. Like, I remember that one vividly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool stuff. It's scary at times. Like the first time I had a vivid dream about my mom after she had passed, I woke up in a horrible state. Like I just, you know, just everything came rushing back. The feeling of losing her. But when I sat down, and the dream was so vivid, I could remember it like I was there reliving it. And after thinking about it, not to get into the whole dream itself, but after thinking about it, it was definitely her saying that I'm okay. I'm in a place that I'm good. I'm comfortable. I'm happy. It's okay. And she just wanted to let me cry and hug her, and it was pretty cool. See, what did Justin say?
It had to be jarring, kind of, like to see that the first time.
Yeah, I did, and I woke up in hysterical. I mean, I was crying horribly, like it just happened over again. But you know, my wife calmed me down, and she asked me what it was about, and as I was explaining it to her, you know, she kind of agreed. You know, there's something this is a positive thing. Yeah. This wasn't something, you know, this wasn't, you know, depression coming back to you while you're sleeping. This wasn't anything like that. This is a message from your mom saying that, you know, she's okay, but she's still here, you know, watching over you.
Yeah, as Barb said, like I kind of even us, like we even each other out. I think Kim does the same thing for you on a daily basis.
Oh yeah, for sure. I always need somebody to calm me down.
Yeah,
I'm not like hyper. It's never like a pissing off type of thing. It's just I get frustrated.
Yeah,
I get frustrated and I get manic about things that aren't really that important, and that I know will definitely work themselves out. Because like your line is always, it's got to work out, right?
Yep.
It'll work out, right?
It'll work out because it has to. That's
right. But yeah, mom was definitely there. Let's see. I'm gonna go back a little bit. Going back to Waverly, Justin mentioned that it was over investigated. Ghosts aren't zoo animals. Hell, even animals aren't zoo animals. I agree. I think a location can be over investigated. Not that it happens regularly, but the last time I was out Moundsville Penitentiary,
I was with you that time.
Yeah,
that was there the last time.
It felt just silent. We didn't have much going on. Really, nothing to document as far as evidence or, you know, experiences. And it was weird too because were setting up for it was Paranormal Challenge, that Ghost Adventures spinoff, where you had two groups going like competing with each other. Um, kind of a silly show, honestly. But yeah, they were all the equipment was set up. There were certain areas that were blocked off. The energy was just not there. There's like no energy to the place. It was kind of it was frustrating. I mean, it was because I've been there before and it was active. I mean, there's a lot going on.
The only thing that happened, I think, is when we were in the cafeteria area with that cage over it, we heard like a rock thrown.
Yeah, yeah.
That was all.
Oh, we heard. Didn't we hear a really big bang too? Like a door cell.
Yeah.
Or a cell door.
Okay. Yeah, we did. Yep.
Other than that, really not a whole lot. Yeah. Let's see. See if White's got another question. Any idea who's haunting the Lizzie Borden home? I know what happened to people are thinking, but if Lizzie Borden did commit these murders, why would she still be there? She did move to her Maplecroft home after moving out. I couldn't even answer that. I've never been to the location, and I don't have much information past what the shows have fed us. Like, I haven't done my own research. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that, Steve, but apparently it is because people say it is. People have had experiences, and now that they're doing more paranormal shows there, I guess, we'll see. Oh, well, Justin just answered. Justin just responded to that one.
Yeah, I could tell at least the Valeska Axe Murder House. I listened to tons of audio because that's when I was like really doing that. I think from Julie, from the other guy.
Yeah, and, I know what you're talking about.
And I didn't hear anything. One, there was some background noise. I don't know if there was anything, but it didn't sound like it was anything but background noise. There was a fan running the whole time. I think they went in the summer and it was probably hot there.
Oh, this is cool. I just switched over to a watch party act going on in one of the groups. Over at Ghost Tech, we have a gentleman by the name of Julian Edwards. Julian, if you're still watching, thank you. He's from Tasmania, which is really cool. He wants to know if we find more EVPs in old homes or outside, etc. Where do you tend to get them? I don't think it's really. I don't know. EVPs capturing. Go ahead. No, you go. You first.
I was going to say, to be honest with you, we catch most of our EVPs when we're not really asking the questions.
Yeah.
We're talking amongst ourselves. And I think, or when we go on the tours, if they let us record it, like I know Trans Allegheny used to not let you record the tour, so we didn't, because to be respectful.
Right.
But I mean, I think we've gotten the most not by asking questions, but just by either making statements or just talking amongst ourselves.
Right.
And that's where it's important. Like, you got to know, and you really have to pay attention. Like, you got to know your group's voices.
Yeah, you do.
And like some of their idiosyncrasies, because like I know I like kind of smack my gums a little bit.
Yeah.
So I have to really try not to do that.
I have a bad habit of clearing my nose constantly.
Mm-hmm.
We always try to call it out and tag it as we do this, because we know our own habits as well. Sometimes we don't eat the brightest of meals before we do it, and our stomachs are acting up.
I swear my stomach has said a whole sentence before.
Yeah, right, and stuff like that. But as far as number one, I would say, look, I mean, I know people do it, and I'm not saying I'm against trying it, but running an EVP session in the outdoors is just not. It's not a logical thing to do. I mean,
it's hard.
You can't control your area. You can't control the location. Too much is going on. Too much to interfere or cause false positives. It's just it's hard. I'm not saying you can't do it. Maybe you can sneak somewhere, or don't sneak, don't trespass. I'm not saying that. you can go if you're going into a location and you're allowed on the property and it's out in the middle of nowhere and it is quiet,
Like
and you can,
Hinsdale.
yeah, like Hinsdale, Jesus. Except for the cars pulling up at random times, taking
Yeah.
pictures and seeing what's going on. I don't know. I would say steer clear of trying to capture audio outside if you're not sure that you have complete control of the area. Tony said try it in front of Madison at night. Yeah. I mean, we've heard, like, I'm not saying you can't get audible evidence, but if you're not paying attention to it constantly and you're like trying to document stuff, like record it and like be able to document it.
Yeah, I've never gotten the EVP. I got the disembodied voice at Madison at night.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I believe what Tony's saying. Obviously, he's a good friend of ours, and I'm sure I probably have heard things that he's got from Madison, on the outside. And when it is late and it is quiet and it's just a small, like the few of us, you definitely could probably capture something on audio. But just generally, for just the people just getting into this, or the gentleman from Tasmania, be careful. I mean, if you're going to document something and call it paranormal evidence, then just, be mindful of it.
Yeah.
Make sure. Go back to something Justin said here.
Yeah, I would agree.
Go through like curious 5-year-olds. They are always trying to button into yeah. I will say some of the better EVPs that we have captured have been during our own conversations that aren't even directly related to anything. Like, we're not asking direct questions. It's sometimes it's been when we're you're recording for us during like the tour. You've captured a couple. I think when we did the Hell House out in PA, that haunted house, I think that's like the only piece of like tangible documented evidence we got from that.
Yeah,
you captured a voice on recorder while during the walkthrough.
Yeah. It said Aaron's name. Aaron's, that's when Aaron Salser was here.
Yeah. Steve, have you guys ever used a living person as trigger object?
You got to be careful when you do that. I've offered myself up.
Yeah.
But you got to be careful.
I've become a trigger object without trying. I don't know. I don't think we've never purposefully used a living person as trigger object or bait to get a response from somebody. Especially in some of the darker places we've been, it's probably not the best idea. I could probably, I've used myself like in Sarah's room. I've used the fact that I'm a father to 2 young girls as, something to kind of like connect with whoever I'm talking to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hopefully that my experiences or like who I am as a person may be connection and trigger some kind of activity, but we've never really used a person like as a trigger object. Like, hey, Mike, you go sit in the middle of the room. Okay, if there's demons here, go scratch Michael across the back. We've never done that.
When I was first starting out, I would do stupid stuff like that. But I would say as you go through, you kind of mature.
Right.
You stop the taunting. You stop the asking, you know what I mean? At least you should.
Right.
Eddie. Oh, there we go.
Justin, investigators essentially become trigger objects, but an example of that is the last episode of Ghost Hunters. He used a steamboat captain to try and elicit activity at a marine hospital. That would make sense.
No.
Yeah.
None of Eddie, us. No, go ahead. Answer that.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to read Eddie's question, but go ahead. Let's answer.
No, I agree with what he's saying.
Yeah, I agree too.
I think I was gonna expand on that and just say that none of us, we've never been to a location where one of us has been something that person is. If that makes sense. like if we went to a hospital, maybe we could have Kate, who's a nurse or in the medical profession, in health services, reach out to whatever's there as a person of that, career path or whatever. But
Eddie
Kate's
asked,
gonna be,
let's
go
Kate
back.
won't be bait.
no ghost bait. What was your first spot to investigate when you started out?
Madison.
Yeah, for him it was Madison. For me, my very first investigation was a public ghost hunt at the Ohio State Reformatory in Mansfield. It's a great time. Still, I mean, the only picture that I've ever got that I will tell you, I think almost 75% is definitely a spirit caught on film. Till this day, anything else I've seen, I haven't come anything close. But yeah, and that was the first actual like going out and physically, actively looking for interaction with spirits. And honestly, I'll be 100% honest. It was just a bunch of us that were fans of ghost hunters. This is something that I've been researching for a long period before, reading books about, because it's stuff that happened when I was growing up in the house that I lived in.
Mm-hmm.
But my first active investigation I didn't do until I seen ghost hunters, and I saw, people can actually do this. You can actually go to these locations and visit and do a ghost hunt. So, friends of mine or the place that I used to work with, Julie on our team was one of them. She's been with me from the beginning. We went out did a public ghost hunt at Mansfield Prison, and it's pretty cool. A lot of us had cool experiences, and I got that great piece of photo evidence. And Mike said you said Madison. Yeah, I invited you, right?
Yeah. Yep, I begged your wife.
Yeah. Until this day, she blames me for taking you over as a friend. Like she's like, you're his friend now.
Yeah. You tell Kim that, like I said, she's my oldest friend in this area. That
I'll tell her that.
Around. Yeah, she's my oldest one from this area.
Justin Brown, I think every investigator should try to find a way to connect with alleged entities at a location during an investigation. Find something in common or relate to them in some way. That would be a way. Yeah, I completely agree with that. That would definitely be a good way to trigger some kind of interaction. It makes sense. I think it's more respectful than just sitting there and asking them to do party tricks for you.
Yeah.
I hate, and I did this early on, and I still catch myself doing it from time to time. One habit I always tell people to break out of when they're investigating is don't ask them about their death.
Right.
Don't, when did you die?
Yeah.
How did you die? Are you dead? And it's disrespectful. And you don't know if the spirits may back off like, oh, I'm dead. They may not know they're dead.
Right.
Or if they're intelligent, they may. I mean, you don't know. We don't know. And to me, it's just disrespectful. It's like, I mean, kind of harshly, but it's asking somebody who has some kind of disease, why do you have a disease?
Right.
When did you get the disease? Like, it's just like somebody you've never met before. Asking them just just disrespectful questions like that. I think it's ridiculous.
Right. You don't want to pry. You want to be there, just like you're talking to somebody.
Yeah, you want to relate to them. You want to communicate with them on a level that you have some commonality with them on, and it's the best way to get their attention.
Yes.
And make them feel like you're with them and you're not trying to scare them or whatever, and asking them to do party tricks. And we do it. I mean, we catch ourselves doing it all the time. If the data logger starts going off, then we kind of get in that mindset, oh, do that again because that was cool. But when you sit back and you think about it, it is like, okay, they're not there to mess around with, like, they're not there to act for you. They're not there to do parlor and party tricks.
Right. I think Tony put some of the EVPs he's caught from Madison, but yeah, I mean, we're in total agreement with that. I mean, we've always been.
See, Justin, where'd he go? Oh, there he is. 100% agree with the Goose about asking their death. That's like walking into a friend's house and asking them why they have dirty dishes. Yeah, it is.
I don't want to do
them. Yeah, right? Like, you don't ask somebody why they died. You just, I mean, it's, I don't know. It's like going to somebody's funeral and like looking at them and like, why'd you die? Did you die here?
Right.
I'm just like, whatever. You don't do that. Let's see. Kristen, she said something about Akron, so she's local.
Yeah.
She's going to block our faces for a little bit, but that's all right. Okay. I'm going to read this. I used to live in a house in Akron for 7 years. Hello? I used to live... We have too much fun with the screen. I used to live in a house in Akron for 7 years, and it was extremely haunted. Activities would include turning off lights, would turn my doorknob and lock and unlock my door. Black shadows and TVs, walking up and down stairs and hallway. Things missing as soon as I set them down. Had come home late one night and had to call the police because my front door was wide open with a lady that looked like she was from Victorian days. And it continues, but I can't. After I moved, I started having dreams of, and it kind of cuts off. Maybe it cut her. I won't let her.
Yeah. Well, she lives in North Carolina now.
Yeah, first of all, congratulations on the move to North Carolina. Hopefully it was a move that you wanted to make. But no, that's cool. It's cool hearing stories from our neighborhoods around here. Hopefully that wasn't too scary for you. That seems like a lot of activity to deal with when you're trying to live and be comfortable in a house. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. If you know the people that still live there and they need to, they need us to come check it out, tell them Dark Alley Paranormal is there to help. Do a little commercial for us.
There you go.
Tony, tool time.
Debbie Wilson. What's up?
Yeah, that's what he was talking about. You're right. I'm my bad. She started having dreams of the house as soon as she left. Interesting.
Was connected to you.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, you took a little.
You still have that connection with that house,
right?
Or that person in the house. They might have liked you.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a priest from Barberton. What kind of priest? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Don't answer that.
She still has the dreams. Like, probably just connected to that person.
Right.
Somehow. You don't even know. They might not be part of the house. They might be connected some other way.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be a ribbon of energy that she took along with her. I mean, I don't know. That's interesting. I still have dreams about the house I grew up in. Very long story short, I actually know the people that live in the house that I grew up in. They went to the same high school that I did, a couple years younger than me. And a few years after my family moved out, quite a few years, because they were, like I said, younger than me, and we moved out of that house when I was still early adulthood. So it had been a while when they moved in, but they live there now. And when I see that, it kind of just brings back memories of the house, and I start having dreams about like that, the events that took place that made me definitely start believing in ghosts and that houses could be haunted.
Yeah.
So what other kind of topics did you bring to the table tonight?
I really did have one when we were looking for the comments, and now I can't remember what it was.
She has no haunting at her current house besides her father-in-law. Sorry to hear about the loss of your father-in-law. But yeah.
So.
Yeah. You guys have any more questions? Steve, Justin, where'd you guys go? Michael didn't do his job. He was supposed to bring topics. He didn't bring topics. I didn't bring a guest. We're all kind of messed up tonight. You know what I blame? I blame murder hornets.
Yep.
That story came out, and I got all thrown off.
I got distracted and I got scared.
my whole life just went to hell after hearing about murder hornets. But Kim did show me an interesting video. Natural predators of murder hornets are praying mantises.
Yes.
They literally will attack them and bite their heads off.
Yes.
But unfortunately, praying mantises are on the they're not a prevalent insect species basically in America or anywhere. They're dying off, unfortunately. Eddie's like, yes, definitely, Eddie. We need to go ghost hunting. I think that's why I'm really off. We haven't been out ghost hunting at all.
Yeah.
Justin has a question. There he is. If there is one thing you could change concerning the paranormal community, what would it be? Oh.
I would probably change.
I'm going to crack my neck on that one.
I'd probably change the way that people talk to each other. You know, and
yeah.
I've seen some pretty nasty things in people's comments. You know, and it's understandable. Yeah. You don't have to be nasty about it. If you don't believe something that they did, you know, you can say something about it without, you know, just being jerks about it.
Or just ignore it completely and be happy with the fact that you don't agree with it and you feel that your method is more respectful. I mean, I don't know. I feel like some of these dialogues people get into, I think social media is a great platform for trolls.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a good way to get information out, but it's also a good way for keyboard warriors.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, without Facebook and things like that, our show wouldn't be nearly as, I mean, we only got 7 viewers right now, but nearly as popular as it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I would definitely change what you said. People need to be open-minded. I mean, you have to be open-minded in this field.
I think Justin hit it on the nail too again.
Let me put that up. I got to read it real quick. Definitely need to take away a lot of people's keyboards. Yeah. Boils down to ego and is what I get from Mike Sanders. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You could be respectful either by, like Ray said, not answering, or just be respectful with it.
Yeah.
Call it paradrama for a reason.
Right. There's a lot of great things going on. There's a lot of bad things going on. I love seeing a lot of the underground groups putting out documentaries, you know, getting their styles and their methods out there. I don't have to agree with all of them.
Right.
I don't have to like what they do or how they investigate. But I support them because they're my friends.
Yeah.
And I don't have to investigate like they investigate.
Nope.
You know, the fact of the matter is they're putting stuff out there. And the more we put out there, the more this field gets noticed. Conversely to that, there's a lot of things that are out there that are more mainstream that I think are doing a disservice to what we're trying to move forward in the field. You know, I'm not going to start dropping show names because I've done it a million times before and it doesn't really make a difference. But there's just shows that over embellish. They use false history. They don't do their research. They go off of what they're told either by property owners or, you know, whatever they can find on Google. They don't I don't think they spend a whole lot of time in the historical stacks at the local library of the location. I just, you know, it's stuff like that. And I think a lot of people, I mean, I have friends that I think do great work, but there's a lot of false idol worship in the paranormal community. Celebrities that I don't understand why people believe that they are so amazing. And, you know, they started off just like we did. They had an experience and it got them interested, but not, you know, the whole TV thing. I mean, I enjoy the shows. I'm not saying I don't watch them. There's a couple that I don't, and I don't agree with the way they do things, but I don't know. I think there's too many people in the field trying to find celebrity in it. Okay, this method of acting is not working for me. I'm not going to get in the entertainment business in this. I'll start ghost hunting because it's popular and that's what people want to watch. It just, I don't know.
Yeah, and I'll go the other way. Is like people they do have to be careful with what they put out, and you have to be ready to defend that, but you can still do it respectfully. If you put something out, yes, especially in this day and age, then you're putting something out that you might have to defend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And some people are disbelievers, and that's their straight up feeling is like skeptical, really skeptical. Like they take it all the way, all the way to the left, all the way to the right. You want to end up kind of in the middle.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And it's like people get so upset when you challenge their beliefs. Again, it goes back to my thought. You cannot be closed-minded or narrow-minded when you get into this field. Yeah. You have to listen to others, and you don't have to agree with them. Right. But you don't have to treat them like shit if you don't.
Right.
It's just the way. It's the same thing as religion. Maybe you're Jewish, I'm Catholic, whatever. Your way is not better than my way. It's just different ways of thinking.
Yeah.
And I think the whole world would be much better if we just all kind of agree to disagree and continue to do what we do and peace over whatever. Yeah. That's my political diatribe.
Right.
Justin said this show is a perfect role model. Thank you, Justin. For how people should approach the social media, down to earth, open-minded, respectful, normal people, throwing stones at the biggest mystery in the universe. Thank you. And that's all we're trying to do.
Thank you.
And we do get a lot of compliments that back that up. I had a guy. He doesn't come on here and comment a lot, but I know he watches because he messages me. Love the show, man. I love you guys. You guys don't come out here telling everybody how to do stuff like a lot of these shows. They try to teach you and educate you. We try to share education and knowledge, but a lot of that knowledge that we share is coming from our guests that we have on the show.
This guy has no knowledge.
That guy, I'm pointing to myself. That guy. No, but plus we got to have fun.
Right.
I just see so many shows on social media. The same. Serious. They're just, everything's dark, like their face is glowing red. Just like whatever we can do to emulate some of the shows and be popular, but that's not the way we roll. So,
Justin's show is really good because they talk about the stuff and it is, he really breaks it down.
I agree.
Trying to get to the root of it, And Ray, you're kind of like that. I'm just a smart ass that sits here and makes jokes the whole time. Not very good ones either.
But that's why we make a great duo on the show, I think. Not to float our own boat, but said I have to understand, or I have to come to understand that people get upset when you challenge them about what they believe or how they investigate. Ghost hunting is becoming a religion to people, diversifying their spirituality. It's a great way to put it. Howie Odell, evening, guys. Hello, evening, Mr. Howie. And then Justin said his show, Paranormal Soapbox, and the Necromancer live show, and Interface Death. Check them out. They're all over Facebook. Justin, because I can't type fast enough, if you want to put the links to all your shows down in the comments, please do. We've had you on a couple weeks ago. One of our better guests that we've had on. Definitely enjoyed. Said his show can definitely turn people away. I can seem cynical and rude, kind of coming across like a know-it-all. But Justin, I don't feel that way.
Across as a know-it-all.
No. I just think you're passionate about what you do. You're passionate about how you do it, and that's fine. and you have your opinion and you're not afraid to share it, and that's fine. Awesome. And that's what we were talking about before, where people coming into things narrow-minded. Because when you say the things that you do, you're not saying that the way other people do things is wrong. You're just saying the way you prefer to do things.
Right.
Or methods that you prefer to use in investigation. That's great.
I think people can learn a lot by listening to Justin's show.
Absolutely.
I've learned some things, just kind of, they're hard for me to understand, like the different sound waves. I've mentioned that before, and it's something you really don't think about.
Right.
You're just like sound, but there's different levels.
Right. Yeah, I completely agree. And I find it, a lot of what he says, educational. Now, Justin, I'll tell you straight to your face. Sometimes, there may be something you say I don't agree with, but that's fine. That's human nature. And, we're still friends. I still love your show, and we help each other out when we can. Life is good. But, some people get their panties in a bunch about the stupidest things, and it kind of ruins what we're trying to build.
Yeah.
Let's see. You guys are so spot on. If I got to go back up because there's a lot of people commenting now. If they want to get an ego, then go get a girlfriend. If they want to investigate the paranormal, then investigate the paranormal. Don't worry about popularity. Exactly. Now, I talk about people putting out documentaries. If I could, I would. I don't have the camera setups. I don't have I have an editing program finally. I do want to put something, and I'm going to put something out.
Well, yeah, we talked about it. We're going to try like that half-hour thing.
We're going to try like a half-hour little like paranormal historic YouTube posts. I do have a bigger documentary thing in mind. I have a lot of things rolling around in my head of things I want to accomplish with that. It's going to be a completely different take. I'm not going to give any ideas out because I got to still formulate them in my head and get an action plan together. But, I think, I think a lot of the indie films coming out from the underground groups that, people don't know about a whole lot, or, maybe see posts from on Facebook. They're putting out some good stuff. And, I think we should definitely be supporting each other and not ripping each other apart.
Yeah, like, one of my thoughts about like a lot of those documentaries, and I'm not sure why, but a lot of them have music, and I can't hear the stuff. Like
that is, yeah, I will say that is kind of a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah,
and I'm very open. Like a couple of my friends have put stuff out, and they've asked me for critiques. And that has always been one of my bigger pet peeves. Like,
ours is not going to have any music.
Yeah, well, yeah.
At the beginning,
I mean, it's not, intro and outro music maybe, but playing the creepy music during the whole film while you're investigating, like you can't hear anything, you can't share that experience. Like part of the whole point of the showing the documentary is for us at home who may be thinking about getting into this or who do this and want to be there with you, for us to experience that along with you. When you have that underlying kind of low playing creepy music throughout the whole thing, it takes a lot of that away, I think.
And I know they kind of do that to build up that suspense.
Sure. And I'm not saying don't put music in your documentary. You have to.
I am.
Well.
No, I know they're building up to that, suspense, but I like the quiet build up to the suspense.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, but while you're actually showing the investigation, quiet on the set.
Yeah.
So I got to go back up because Justin said something kind of funny. I want a t-shirt that says, "I'm a non-scientist trying to do a scientist things." Pretty much. Trying to use the scientific method to something that we're not quite sure exists. But hey, it's been done before. And
I always say that ghost hunting or paranormal investigation, whatever you want to call it, is like a philosophy.
It
You
is.
know?
And a lot of it for most people is based on belief system. And you're not going to change people's beliefs. You know, maybe an event that they experience or evidence that they are able to document may change their beliefs and their methods, but you can't. I guess it's not worth the fight that some people put up when they get all bent out of shape that somebody doesn't believe something that they do.
Right. And that's the key right there. Not everybody's going to believe what you have or what, you know.
No, I will say one cool thing about what we do is like talking to people that aren't in the paranormal community. I'm sorry. Finding out how many people actually do believe in the paranormal. Like, it's when I was taking college classes at Akron as part of, I had to do a lot of the basic like intro to communications class, that type of stuff where you got to do like presentations in front of the class. Of course, mine were all based on paranormal stuff. And I was talking about evidence and like different kinds of contamination. Basically just I did like a ghost hunting 101 type thing. And these kids and like the older people that were there with me were like enthralled. Like I had their full attention. It was awesome. Like everybody was like excited and interested in what I was talking about. Number one, it was different because everybody else was just talking about, what, like how to bake a cake type stuff. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about ghost hunting. And they're all like, whoa. And then I had a lot of people approach me afterwards. So it's like there's people out there that are interested and want to learn. And
Well, I wear my. I'm going. No, finish your thought.
No, I was done.
Oh, I wear my sweatshirt a lot. You know, and I, going in the grocery store or something like that, I constantly get people saying, "Are you a real paranormal investigator?" And I was like, "Well, kind of."
Yeah.
But then they start sharing their stories.
Right. The same thing happened to me. We were doing a ghost hunt at Shalersville, and I was getting some batteries at the Dollar General store, which is a new building. Now, there's houses there before that had fallen in disrepair and are ultimately torn down because I grew up in the area, so I knew that they were there before. She saw my shirt and the hoodie, and she's like, "Oh, you're a ghost hunter?" And it's talking about how we should come in and ghost hunt at the Dollar General. It's like, "Oh, we see ghosts here all the time. Stuff just falls off shelves." It's like, just people are into it.
Yeah.
It's not as taboo as it used to be. It's people believe.
Right.
Let's see. I want to go back to Howie Odell. Since as a podcaster, he respects the host. He respects other hosts more. Also, learn not to disrespect the guests. I love the product we are putting out now is much better than it was before. We have even had many of our fans, travelers, say that they rather tune into the show other than watching paranormal TV. So, no, that makes sense. Justin also made the comment, it's hard balancing sound design and keeping it raw. It's one of the things I constantly tweak and get feedback on. Yeah. And I mean, I understand you have to have to set the mood, and I know that's part of the whole music thing, like playing the music throughout the documentary. But I'm not Justin. I haven't seen your documentary yet. I'm getting there. I'm going to purchase it and watch it. But I've seen a few, and they've been put out by good friends of mine, and I've told them this. It's just my opinion, but it is kind of nerving when you're trying to like hear, like you're up against the screen trying to hear what they just, claim that they caught or documented that they caught as an EVP, and you're trying to hear it, and there's like this like underlying music playing constantly. It makes it very hard to experience what they are. But man.
I always just have a hard time with it. And, I might be in the minority. We might be in the minority. I don't know.
And we probably don't even know what we're talking about because we've never put out a documentary. So
that's true.
We're not producers, directors, or editors yet.
You know what would happen if we did it? We'd be sitting there going, "Wow, we need to put some filler in here. Like, hey, let's put some music."
Steve, here's what I love about you guys. It doesn't matter how many people are watching. We still get the same show. No matter if it's 100 or 1,000 people watching, Justin is the same. The way the Howie show is the same. We always get quality show. Well, I appreciate that.
Yep, thank you.
And actually, I lose sleep about the show sometimes because, like I said, this week we had no guests, and that was completely 100% my fault because I'm the guy who books the guests.
I'm fine with no guests sometimes. I like it when we get
I
to
like
just
doing
talk.
this. I like having
Yeah.
this like once a month where we just sit back, chill, and just talk to our guests.
Yeah.
Because they have questions. I don't care if we tell the same story over and over again, but you guys that are watching the show, you guys come up with some great, yeah, can't even talk. Great questions, and gets us going. It gets us excited. This is why we started this thing. We like talking to people and just shooting the shit about ghosts and stuff, man.
Yeah, we've had shows though that we're like, really?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we'll have guests every once in a while that are hard to interview.
Yeah.
They either don't talk a lot or I never mind the people that talk too much because it makes our jobs a lot easier. But I don't think I've ever had a guest that talks too much towards like a problem. We have had guests earlier on before we started broadcasting live on Facebook that we had just had to like pull answers from. I think it was like one word answers or responses or like like we had one guy on. I don't even know, he was barely in the paranormal. Like I don't know how I wasn't booking guests at the time. It was when I first started with the show. But I don't know. I appreciate all your guys' feedback. I mean, I just kind of just what you see on the show is what we are. I mean, this is how we interact with each other. So I don't see why we would interact with you folks any different.
Yeah.
We're just all here. We just like to talk about the paranormal.
Yeah,
And
we don't switch anything. We don't switch anything on when we come on. This is the way, like you said, this is the way we are.
Yeah. There's no show. I may be a little bit more physically animated. That's about it. But like my personality is the same.
I'm pretty much the same.
Yeah, you're just laid back, drinking your drink, smoking your smoke, making your smart ass comments every couple minutes, and you're good to go.
Yep.
I do. One of the events we were supposed to go to this year, Fright Fest, which turned into something con. Actually, changed the name of the event. I didn't even know. It was supposed to be out in Fort Wayne in October. That has been canceled. Obviously due to COVID. Still have not anything about the Gettysburg Bash. I'm assuming it's not going to happen because it's literally almost like a little over 2 months away. And there doesn't seem like this is leveling off fast enough to be able to do the big shows like this. I mean, I don't know.
You never know, hopefully, but you never know.
Yeah. See, Brian said it's boring in PA.
It's always boring in PA.
Shut up, man. It's not. Brian, I was born in Pennsylvania. I have a lot of family in Pennsylvania. You're good, man.
Yeah.
How I said, okay, guys, back to work. Wanted to make sure I caught you all tonight. Steve, Justin, Baum, you guys have a great one. Thanks for coming up tonight, watching the show. Oh, they're talking amongst themselves.
Yeah.
Nathan Burge, one of our buddies, our soon-to-be new buddies from the Fairfield Infirmary area, been putting in a lot of time down there at that location. Awesome job down there, man. We hope to meet you soon and put in some sweat and tears down there with you and have some experiences, some ghost hunting going on down there.
There you go, Steve. That's a good thing.
This is like a live Paracon where we have hosts from several different shows. This is definitely good stuff. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, because I'm much more talkative in this kind of Paracon. When I'm at the real one, I'm just sitting there like
I'm the same way,
feet.
unless I know the person, like one-on-one know the person. We're usually just sitting there playing on our phones, and if somebody happens to walk up and ask a question, we're not we're not out there with the signs dancing. Hey, Dark Alley Paranormal, Cryptic Paranormal show.
Yeah.
Terry, thank you for watching the show.
Thank you.
Let's see. Nathan, can't wait to meet you guys. Same here, buddy.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, right. Yeah, be careful. Be careful, man. Oh, we don't have that reputation we do at Madison for any other reason. Too wild and crazy guys.
You are but,
yeah, I'm looking at the Gettysburg event may be canceled. Maybe not. I don't know.
You know what? If they're allowing people to stay at the hotel, I might just go anyways.
I might go. I mean, I already have the hotel booked, but I just
it's all gonna depend.
I doubt the kids will go. I doubt it'll end up being the family.
Yeah.
I always try to watch Justin. I always try to watch the show and Sean and Zarina's show all the way through. It's hard retaining an audience. I just want to share the support. Thank you, buddy. We appreciate that. And I watch you as much as I possibly can. 2 young kids and then stuff going on. I will catch as much as everybody's show as I can. Brian said he hasn't heard that the bash has been canceled yet.
Yeah, we might just
crossed.
Well, Kate wants to go because there's a friendlies,
right?
But if there's like I said,
I'm holding out hope.
If the hotels are still taking people, we might just go by know, just walk around the area.
True.
We'll see. Because I was even talking to Kate, and I was like, you know what? I'm not really anxious during this thing, but I have more anxiety about opening it up. I think that's normal.
Yeah, yeah.
For a lot of people, like it's scary to have to start getting everything going again. I think that's where I have most of my anxiety. I wanted to open up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat. I mean, I you haven't been working from home, so you've at least been getting out of the house.
Yeah,
I've been working from home. I'm here most all day, every day. I try to get out as I can. I would love to get out and do the things that we normally do. I definitely want to get out, investigate, and get back in paranormal, ghost hunting stuff, and get to work on some of the projects that we are talking about.
Yeah.
And take the show to locations and do interesting stuff. I cannot wait to get the show back in the studio. The studio is open, by the way. Some of the shows are starting to go live from there again. I'm not quite there yet.
Good. I think we've taken it slow.
Yeah. Honestly, probably would not be the most professional choice to start going back to the studio before I start going back to work.
Right.
Because a lot of the people that I know that at work that know about the show watch the show. So,
well, we're fine right now because we really can't have any. I would think we really couldn't have any guests in the studio anyways.
Right. And being that it is a radio station, I have enough audio files. I'm probably going to start sending them some of the old shows to play because I do post edit on all those. So, Brian said it would be awesome to do a show at the hunt. Oh, I plan on it. We've tried it before. I'm still figuring all the tech out that I need. It's really hard to.
We're gonna get it.
Yes, I've tried at some lesser connected places. I tried posting from Hinsdale. I tried streaming from there. I just didn't have the right setup. I have the right camera figured out and everything, but getting that Wi-Fi connection was almost impossible out there.
Yeah.
Now, with the setup I have, I should be able to do it better at Madison. So if we go back there, I know I could do it from Shalersville because I've done it already. That did work
from the Knickerbocker because we did that.
Yeah, that worked out well.
Yeah.
So we can do it. Brian said, "Let him know he's in." Cool, for sure, man. Brian, we got to get you back on the show. Justin, we'll have you back on the show. in a bit. I do have some guests lined up for next week. We got our buddy Ed Weiland from Buckeye Bigfoot Research coming back on the show. Yeah.
Why?
We're talking Bigfoot next week, buddy. But I believe he's going to be on with Jack Warren as well, our other buddy. Two wild and crazy Bigfoot hunter guys from the Canton, Ohio area. It'll be good. It'll be fun. So they'll be on next week. So hopefully we can bring a different crowd. I've been in talks with Brian Murray, getting him back on the show. Brian, as you know, is on Ghost Hunters. He's a big fan of Madison Seminary. He's really interested in getting down to Fairfield. It's just a matter of him having time. They're not doing a whole lot of filming, obviously, with the COVID thing. But this is a good time for him to be promoting what he does. So, he's got a waiting list of shows that he's getting on. But he definitely wants to come on. Possibly we'll have Rochelle with him as well. Awesome topic. Yeah, we need to vent. I know he's already shaking his head no. I like to.
Yeah, we need to go out.
I like to venture. Out. Yeah, we got to go outside the what's comfortable for us or what our wheelhouse is. But I enjoy talking to Ed. He was great last time we had him on.
He threatened to use me as bait.
It's only because you're afraid.
Yeah.
You show fear, and that'd be perfect bait.
I was right up with him on the bait when we went that walk in Kent.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, let's see something.
But yeah, Ed Weiland and Jack Warren from Buckeye Bigfoot Research will be on next week. So that's what you have to look forward to. I already have a guest for next week. I got behind on work this week. I just didn't have time.
You're fine.
But no, I like doing this. We got to do this once a month. I like doing cross promotion and having guests from other RU Media people on our show help each other out. I think, just so you know, Sean wants us on his show, Into the Abyss podcast, on the 27th. So it'd be a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I look forward to that because it's always a good time hanging out with them on their show. But we're about a minute away from the end time. So if anybody has any quick questions before we end the show for the evening, I want to say appreciate you guys tuning in, and it's a blast as usual.
Yeah, thank you for your questions because I really forgot to get some topics.
Yeah, the topic man dropped the ball. The guest booking guy dropped the ball. But we had a good time. We had a good show, I think.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We even had a possible EVP.
Maybe.
We'll have to review the evidence and check it out.
Yeah. Because, it could have been a noise that somebody made between us. So I'll really look through. Oh, we got a quick question real quick.
Yep. All right. I got to read this real quick. Oh, hold on. So, quick question. This is from Christy, our Akron, or our previous Akron friend. So, quick question. Is there a different dimension where loved ones go after death? Do some of them not cross over? The reason why I asked is because my father-in-law had visited me shortly after his death. I was walking down my front stairs, and it felt like spider webs started at my fingertips and on my arms, and instantly heard my father-in-law's voice say, "I'm sorry." 2 days later, I seen him walk across the living room out of the corner of my eye. I just want to make sure I'm not going crazy. No, I don't know how to answer the dimension part of that question.
Yeah.
Because who knows?
I don't think you're going crazy, though.
No, absolutely not. I think that's just literally based on your own belief. And I do believe that family members, this is my personal belief, my personal opinion. I believe that family members, loved ones, I believe that they can cross over, but they can come back and check on you from time to time.
Mm.
Because that love is such a deep, rich energy. They can use that. And, they sit on our shoulders like angels. Like I was talking about earlier, I haven't seen my mom. I haven't had like experiences where I think I've heard her speak to me. Everything's been 100% visitation in my dreams. Like I think the term dream walking.
Mm.
I think she comes to me when I'm asleep, when she knows that I'm at rest, and she can have a clear conversation with me where there's none of that spooky I'm a ghost stuff going on, if that makes sense. So as far as the dimension thing, I don't really know. I do believe that they can cross over and come back to visit, and they can watch us over from where they're at, watch over us from where they're at, and check up on us occasionally. And some of them, sometimes, if it's a traumatic end to their life, they may need to stick around to say I'm sorry, or I don't know what your situation was. I don't need to know that information. That's personal for you. But sometimes they just have a message for us, and then they cross over.
Right.
But, that's just my personal belief, though. I don't want to tell you something that's incorrect, but I really think it's all basic on your belief. So hopefully that helps. I don't know. So Justin says, stay safe out there, guys. Hope to see you all at the Gettysburg Bash. Dude, I'm fingers crossed that's still going on. Steve White said he enjoyed the show. Thank you, sir. Christy said, thank you. You're welcome. And thank you for tuning into us tonight. Everybody who else watched, as usual, Crypto Heads, we love you, and we'll see you next week. Next week, Ed Weiland and Jack Warren from Buckeye Bigfoot Research. So it should be an interesting show.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right.
Yeah. So that's it for tonight. We will spook you later, Crypto Heads.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good night, guys.